everybody, anyone. I doubt this is going to be seen, but anyway, I am Christopher Wood, and I am a 6-year revenge retaliation victim. I keep happy saying this, and I am a 6-year revenge retaliation victim of Lennox and Addington, Ontario provincial police who were involved in human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, torture, crimes, stalking, identity thefts and frauds, kidnapping, sex assaults, lies, time buying, cover-ups, arrest refusals, false arrest, extortion, having medical files falsified through criminal doctors involved. I am a 6-year revenge retaliation victim for speaking of OPP, human trafficking, and homeless exploitation for monetary gain and possible money laundering out of the Morning Star mission at the time. As a result, in August 6 of 2019, at approximately 3 p.m. in a previous address in Napanee, Ontario, I was sitting outside. Ex-OPP chief or commander went by. He was driving a white Jeep Wrangler. He waved at me. I waved back. When I waved back, a black truck pulled up beside him. They pointed something, they shot it, and it went into my right ear. After I was shot, I started getting stalked. I was getting burning in the back of my head from whatever was shot in my ear. It started to actually move. It went to the back of my head, to my frontal lobe actually. I was getting electrical shocking. My skull was being split in the process. I now have holes in the back of my head. I have what feels like a balloon in the back of my head as well. My skull has been flattened, very seriously flattened. It's been rounded out. It's been elongated, short and wide, in many different shapes and sizes. I have been brain split, lung damage, kidney damage, medical file falsified, so I cannot get medical help through criminal doctors who are involved, and one is the girlfriend to another involved as well. Ontario Provincial Police ex-chief or commander, the one that had me shot in Napanee, Ontario, August 6, 2019. My mother was also stalked, tortured, and killed, and so were 2 of my dogs as well. Ex-chief or commander, staff sergeant, years 2019-2021. Kidnapping and sodomy, sex assault against me. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas. He actually told me one time he could fuck me, kill me, get away with it. Money Badge Family Town Council at the time. Dave Weiss, Constable Ward. Stacy, the mental health worker that was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS. Shelley Huffner had me kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after me asking for help with the crimes that have taken place against me. Spencer Mills 14716, Robert Kane 7224, and Christine Schultz. Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, who are criminally negligent involved, including having me charged twice to prevent anything legal on them for the crimes they are guilty of against me, including with the intent to commit and cover up. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Tatiana Vikadinovic, she also goes by Dr. Margie B. She is the girlfriend to Stacy and the one that falsified my medical file for the discrimination, treatment refusals, and blacklisting. Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, ex-CEO Covey Duck and Patient Relations. Ex-CEO Covey Duck actually had me illegally kicked out. I went up to the hospital one time for having breathing problems, so I went in, I registered, everything was fine. I sat down. Next thing you know, Paladin Security comes over and tells me to get the fuck out of the hospital. I got up, I left. Come to find out afterwards, it was ex-CEO Covey Duck that kicked me out. I did nothing. He illegally kicked me out, and I've had lung problems ever since. I have a tube now in me, the no surgeries, and I've shown it on my channel as well. It goes from my groin to my right nipple to my throat to the back of my head. I get piss and shit going through the back of my head. It's going through my head and my face. Very disgusting. It's pretty much decaying and rotting my brain. I eat, my food goes to the right side of my body, not my stomach. I am being decayed from that from the inside. No matter what is done to me, no matter what I could show, no matter what I could prove, I could not get medical help. My legal rights, my human rights, and my medical rights have been taken from me. And this is all 100% revenge retaliation crime. I have no criminal record or history. I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 years prior to being shot. I have no history with any psychological history with any psych wards or anything else, so lies about being suicidal self harm are not true in any way, shape, or form. I am wood, I am life tree, and I am about life. I'm not about death. 100% bullshit. Lies about drugs, I do not do. At one point in time in my younger years, I did, but not since 2013. I had an overdose, and that was my wake up call. And I am actually glad that it had happened to me because I needed it to happen to me. I had a slip up in 2018 for 2 days, and that was it. So, lies about long criminal record and history, lies about psychological record and history, none of it's true. Medically blacklisted treatment refusals because of falsified file against me in Kingston, Ontario at KGH twice. Refused treatment. They conveniently got the phone calls about me being suicidal, self-harmer, and drugs both times I went there. Getting kicked out of the hospital in Belleville, Ontario by a French doctor. Walked in, seen your file, think you need psychiatric help, nothing I can do for you. Leave. I was kicked out of Belleville General Hospital. Refused CAT scan pictures and results from November of 2019 through Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, given fake ones. My original ones are in possession of one Spencer Mills, Ontario Provincial Police 14716, and Stacy Kingston AMHS now, blonde-haired, heavy-set woman. Compliments of her girlfriend, Dr. Tatiana Bukadinovic. They are guilty of human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, identity thefts and frauds, framings, torture crimes, elderly tortures and murders, and my two dogs once again. I've had bank thefts put against me. I was made homeless for an entire year. And there is other people involved too through Kingston, an ex-Bath prisoner who is involved with child pornography, a sex offender who has an internet ban, and yet he gets on TikTok as Jimmy Fry. His real name is Robert Hanna, 28, 29 years old, balding on top, ponytail, glasses, always wears a hat, a goatee, and has always wears headphones. Lives on Oak Street by a park, or he was. If not there, he'd probably be living at Artillery Park across the road in housing units, or in Hamilton House in Kingston with his boyfriend Edward Alex Robichaud, where he actually has access to children. So All day long, I have been getting nothing but numbing. My skull has been swelling up, and I am having more and more problems remembering. I'm having very hard time thinking. I've been having problems walking today. I'm having problems seeing out of both eyes now. My left arm and my hands are going completely and totally numb on me all the time. I'm having serious damage done to my heart, probably as well. So, no matter what I could show, no matter what I could prove, no matter what is done to me, I go through this on a daily basis after being shot. I am in excruciating pain pretty much 24/7 because of it, and I have to put up with it because I have no medical rights. I have videos of me going to OPP and trying to get arresting and charging on them, being surrounded, hands on guns by a bunch of cops. OIPRD at the time, no luck. Lika a couple times, of course, no luck because now that when you want cops charged, they investigate their own crimes only to find no wrongdoing. So therefore, they get away with what they get away with. Private prosecution only to find out that the justice of the peace is involved. Threats, intimidation, accusations stating I was high on marijuana and hallucinating being sodomized because it was done by cops and a guy, one of their accomplices, who was guilty of stalking my mother. He thinks that he and I were switched at birth. He thinks that he is my dad and he was calling my mother mom. That's pretty fucked up. He has many alias names: Bill Wooldridge, Bill Cooldridge, Bill Delarosable, Stephen Maven, which is an escapee, a wanted escapee, and Robert Cross are some of his alias names. There is a guy. I was just gonna show some pictures, but every time I try my phone camera or whatever, it screws up, and then I have to restart my phone. There's a guy named Blair Hardy Kane. He is guilty of stalking, torture crimes on me, my identity theft. He's a meth trafficker, alleged OPP supervisor. He is guilty of raping a woman in Napanee, Ontario at 45 Dundas Street East, Apartment 3 in 2021, who is now deceased from a drug overdose. He is guilty of financial thefts and frauds. He was trying to collect welfare illegally from my address, actually, until I found out about it and reported it. He is guilty of bank thefts and frauds, also welfare, disability, insurance frauds, meth trafficking, torture crimes, slavery, and my identity theft and attempted murder on me. He's an obsessed homosexual, once again, alleged OPP supervisor Blair Hardy, Blair Kane. Two of them, the others that are involved, are my cousins, Harry Hartwick and Dale Hartwick, are guilty of both torture crimes on me, brain injury on me. Dale Hartwick is guilty of attempted murder on me with the intent to commit homicide for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife or ex-wife's boyfriend. And he personally told me this himself. When he realized what he had said, then he had fucked up and he had left. He was visiting me and told me this. Dale Hartwick's boyfriend, Tony Anthony X of Rose Hearns, he thinks that I am a wolf. He's guilty of torture crimes against me, blinding me in my right eye, skull splitting me, attempted paralyzing me, and attempted murder with intent to commit. Jason Gimpy, two-step in Alstein. He is guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity disability and insurance fraud. He is approximately 45 years old, a crackhead. Sells lace fentanyl between Napanee and Kingston to addicts and homeless, especially around the hub, to commit overdose murders because it's easier to cover up for him and everyone else. He is guilty of attempted murder of me. He is a stroke victim, but I can still 100% prove his guilt. He is guilty of attempted murder of me with intent to commit identity disability and insurance fraud for more drugs. And that's a fact. Tyler Lake, he is guilty of arson attempts on a previous address in Napanee, Ontario, throwing blood on a previous address, threats of stabbing me, being involved with my identity theft. Once again, I have pictures where I look just like him, no relation. I am 53, he is approximately 35 years old. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog in March 2023 with another named Raymond LeBlanc, both who is a criminal stalker and child groomer. Both are guilty of torture crimes and attempted murder on me, as well as killing my dog. Bert Hustler, he used to date my wife after we separated, so yeah, I know each and every one of them involved. He used to date my wife after we separated. Highly obsessed and jealous of the long hair I used to have. Meth head, crackhead, morphine head. A schizophrenic in a permanent drug psychosis, which makes him even more dangerous. He actually thinks and believes I am a woman named Maggie, which is pretty fucked up. Because last time I checked, I certainly don't look like no woman. He's guilty of brain injuring me. He's guilty of torture crimes against me, slavery, and attempted murder. He is also a child sex offender as well. Robert Berry, he is a Laidlaw truck driver. He is a possible serial killer. Him and his boyfriend also are committing sex assaults, who is an alleged AIDS victim, HIV, and committing are spreading their disease around as well through that. $22,000 through the police to have any of these lowlives arrested because who they are and the crimes that they are guilty of, especially involving human trafficking, sex slavery, sex assaults, tortures, full physical identity thefts, framings, frauds, murders, medical file falsifications, discriminations, assuring all crimes, and obvious, probably no doubt, many death records falsified to benefit and cover up crimes for each and every one of these lowlives in Napanee. Poor, homeless, elderly, disabled are their targets. Easier to commit their lives against them and get away with it. Accomplices to OPP: Tony Hearns, the one known as Bill Waldridge, now bald, glasses, goatee, sometimes lives behind the law office on Centre and Dundas, or Centre and Bridge Street in Napanee, Ontario. Approximately 70 years old, and he's the one that goes by Stephen Maven, which is the one escapee. Bert Hustler. Another picture of Bill Waldridge or Rob Crush, Stephen Maven, whatever the fuck his real name is. He is also a child sex slave trafficker for XOPP chief or commander as well. And I was talking about that. Bert Hustler again. The one that thinks I'm Maggie Falls. I hardly think so. Child groomer Raymond LeBlanc. Tyler Lake. He is also the lover to OPP drug cop Robert Kane and the number one rat informant for him as well. He's the one that threw blood on my previous address, arson threats, and it killed my dog. OPP cop Blair Hardy Kane. He's a serial killing piece of shit. Jason Manalstein. The one that sells the least fentanyl. Here's a picture of an identity change, full identity change done to me. This is what happens when you speak OPP crimes because no criminal record or history with me. It's another picture, Tyler Lake. Another picture of Blair Hardy Kane. And as a matter of fact, I want to make it clear, I was sitting here earlier doing a previous live, and all of a sudden I had a knock on my door, and I had my live going at the time to prove it. One of the people involved with this came to my door, and he proceeded to bang on my door. I did not get up. I was sitting here doing a live video. He proceeded to rip open my door, step in here, make threats against me, and told me that his brother was coming to see me as well, who was involved with stalking and other very serious crimes with more OPP, along with the one that is guilty now of breaking and enter, invasion, and threats, which were caught live here on my YouTube while doing it. And I want him, as a matter of fact, I want him arrested and charged for just such a thing. These are the OPP untouchables, human traffickers, sex slavery traffickers, and each and every one of them are guilty of murders and attempted murders. And I hope you're happy with what you're doing to me, numbing me down to turn me into a vegetable, knowing you're getting away with this and that I am the end of my bloodline too, and knowing nothing I can do medically to get help, so I can be changed 1,000 different ways, and there is nothing that I can fucking do about it. And you little bastards know it because you're above the law and you have OPP immunity, which they are above all laws themselves. This is Harry Hartwick, my cousin. There is also Rashad McKay as well. Once again, as soon as I start trying to show more pictures, this happens. My pictures go blank on me. So, because it's been hacked, my phone's been cloned by Robert Hanna, the one known as Jimmy Fry, the one in Kingston that's involved with the child pornography. Anyway, I am gonna get off here. I've had those threats put against me. It was done on my previous live. If anything happens to me from any cops in any way, shape, or form, regardless of where they are, hello, Leslie. If anything happens to me by any cops in any way, shape, or form, regardless of who they are, it will be revenge retaliation, especially after what happened this afternoon. How are you? I'm glad to see you. Yeah, I know, me too. It's been one of those days. So I also want to say publicly that if anything does happen to me from where I am, Travis Brand, because of the threats I got that he was coming to see me to finish me through his brother, that if anything happens to me, I want him arrested and charged immediately. And if anything does happen to me or he shows up around me in any way, shape, or form because he is guilty of crimes, then I want him charged anyway. It's been one of those days for me too. I was actually sitting here earlier doing a live video, and next thing you know, one of the people involved with what's happening to me come banging on my door and proceeded to rip open my door and stepped inside my house, proceeded to threaten me, and then was harassing me through my window afterwards. And I was doing a live video. My last YouTube live I done on here, it was labeled torture or whatever. At the 21, 22-minute mark and the 33, 35-minute mark, it happens. While I was doing my video to show and prove, and you can clearly hear everything. So I have proof of a break and enter and a home invasion and threats by a cop's brother. So there can be no denying that it didn't happen. Well, I said nothing. Only told him to get out of my place. Because if I would have reacted and actually would have done something, I would have been the one paying for it once again because who his brother is. That's just it. I am having more and more problems remembering who I am. But yeah, it's approximately at the 21, 22-minute mark on my previous last live. It's labeled tortured, and then maybe 33, 35-minute mark to prove that it happened. Yes, please check it out. I was sitting here, and then all of a sudden, just bang, bang, bang on my door, and then boom, all of a sudden, my door comes flying open. He stepped in here, started threatening me, and then he left and started harassing me through my window, calling me on, telling me to come outside, and calling me a goof and everything else. But as far as that goes, who's the goof? I certainly am. I certainly aren't. I'm certainly not. So don't bother me. No, no vehicle. The cop does. His brother does. He drives an SUV, police vehicle. But the other one, no, he don't drive. And I know that seems to be the thing with the SUVs. Look at this. And this is me only about 4 or 5 months ago, actually, as well too. So there has been serious changes done to me just in that fast, short amount of time. Because obviously I look nothing like that, even with my glasses off. There is still no resemblance in any way, shape, or form from that picture there to me now. None. So this is pretty much finished with me. Yeah, I know, that's just it. I know about the SUV thing too. I have been getting so much burning in the back of my head that I actually was getting, burning, and then I felt the back of my head and I rubbed it, and out came a little chunk of hair, and I looked and there was black shit all across it that's coming out of my head as well, near the bottom of my head at the back. So, whatever the hell it was. Wow, 90 pages. Well, no, they don't like us being educated about it because then it's easier to expose them in the means of how it's actually being done. All anybody really has to do is think in terms of technology, energy, vibration, sound, biometrics, even. And a lot can be done through that triangulation tracking biometrics, which can read a person's energy levels and energy fields and track them through that way. Invasive surveillance through that way from the technology once implanted with, yes, microchip nano implants that people think does not exist, but very much provable. This is how the police are giving people cancers. This is how they are causing lobotomies, splitting skulls, my identity thefts, and the electrical shocking and everything that's been done to me, all from the inside out. All done after I was shot in August of 2019. That's true. I've noticed that too. You're cranking your hog. Any tips? No, sorry. No tips on cranking your hog. And if you're not talking about a motorcycle, I sure the hell ain't interested in any other kind. So you crank that somewhere else. This isn't a porn site. What clears it? Awesome. What clears the radio waves from the body? There's also stuff that you can do to clear your electric field and your energy field, also through scalar waves and morphic field as well, and actually quantum fields. So it's there's a lot to it, but it's also pretty simple at the same time. And with the OPP, with the cops using R&M on victims and putting that on people, you can also, because that enables for invasive surveillance, you can also use that for tracking on victims as well. And that kind of shit causes EMFs and a lot of radiations inside a body. It was being used on my mother, who was 77 years old. It completely and totally deformed her skull. It lifted the back of her head up, her skull up, and deformed her seriously. And as a result, she died of it. She was tortured and killed from that shit. Well, as long as you found something, hopefully, that's helping you anyway, which is good to hear. Oh, cool. And how many have you done so far? I'll bite. Why not? Holy shit. Those crickets are actually coming from outside my window. Can you actually hear that? That's the good thing about living in the country. I'd rather listen to crickets than a bunch of crackhead nutcases freaking out. Trust me, I know he's weeping. I myself am a very spiritual person, so I am very involved with that. No, I think it's actually crickets. But I do know that not to be paranoid, you are 100% right that that shit does happen, but not with my case. So, but you are right, it does happen to people. I was doing a live earlier, my last live video, and I had a knock come to my door. I didn't get up and answer it because I was involved in doing my live, and next thing you know, my door was ripped open. And then the guy ripped my door open, stepped inside my place, started threatening me, and then turned around and left. And he is actually the brother to a cop involved with this stuff as well. He is also guilty of previously trying to drug me through crack cocaine as well, stalking, follow me every time I was going out, going to stores. I'd come back, and then he would go to the very same places asking what I was buying and everything else. And this was constantly happening, constantly walking around trying to look in my windows at all hours of the night. So, and my one address I was living at in Napanee, one guy there that I showed, he's actually tried to set my house on fire. And after he done that, then he threw blood on my house pretty much as a warning towards me. What's my opinion about it? To be honest, I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, in the wintertime it is, but not in the summertime. Shit, I think today it was actually like 91 or 92 degrees here. So it was up past 30, plus 30, which is over 90 or close to it. So it's been pretty hot here. Those good days where you can actually just stay inside and buy a air conditioner and not really move too much, because as soon as you do, you start sweating like a pig. But yeah, as far as the states go and Canada goes, I really don't see why there is this much bullshit going on towards the two countries when it comes right down to it. We are all North America after all, regardless of a so called imaginary line. And to all of a sudden, to almost be acting like enemies towards each other, it's pretty sad, really. But the US is the US, Canada is Canada, and it will remain such. I have family in the US actually too, in Florida and in Kentucky. But other than that, how's everybody else doing tonight? I know I'm on here for a specific subject, but I kind of want to get to know my viewers as well too. You still here, Leslie? Are you still cranking your hog? Cool. How's that working out for you? Why not? Oh, you heading out, Leslie. Thank you for stopping by, and I'm glad to see you. And by the way, I got your message the other day you left for me, and thank you very much for that. I always appreciate those once again. But if you're heading out, I will say goodnight to you, and you be safe and take care of yourself, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Every damn time I try to show pictures, my fucking phone will go blank on me. Every time, just like clockwork. My phone's cloned, hacked, my computer's hacked. As a matter of fact, I actually found four videos done on my channel that were AI generated of me, allegedly, but it wasn't me. Four of them I have found so far that were done. So my computer's been also hacked as well, and I even know where it's coming from, which is in a different town from where I'm living. But yet my computer is still hacked from that address. Devices that are hooked up to mine. Cops are also in use of what is called Pegasus, or Israeli spyware, I guess you would call it. And they have been using it on victims as well, citizens and others like human rights groups and everything else for invasive surveillance against them. And this was all recently just found out not long ago, and it was all put in print about it, so it's easy to find out. They're using R&M on victims. They're using CEW on victims, which is pretty much a fucking energy weapon. I've had it used on me. It put me right down, like really quick. I got shot with it and started feeling very sick afterwards. They're using Pegasus software, which is pretty much invasive surveillance tracking software through Stingray. R&M, which is obviously for the invasive surveillance, and pretty much Pontius Pilate hands-free destruction of a person's central nervous system to commit murder against them. So you can have total deniability. You can sit back and say it wasn't me, wasn't me, wasn't me. I have videos where I went to the police, tried to get arrested and charging for the ones that are guilty of doing this to me, being surrounded, hands on guns by them, falsely arrested by the justice of the peace, once again medically blacklisted through file falsifications, my birth registration records from the hospital I was born at were tampered with as well. So I am being completely and totally fucked in every way, shape, and form, including physically being changed. And I know each and every one of the lowlives that are involved doing it too, because two of them are actually my cousins, and I know the other ones that are involved from being around Napanee because it is a small town. So you get to know people after a while. So I am very well aware of who is 100% involved, not just naming names for the sake of naming names to blame somebody for something. I have been 100% consistent from the time this happened to me in 2019. Every single step of the way, every single day, whom, how, what, where, when, why. Just in case anybody wants to try to discredit me and for what is take for what I am talking about. Because no matter what I've been able to prove, even my skull being split in serious fucking sections, me going to the hospital, the doctor saying, take off your hat, put it back on, it fits, you're fine. Being called a delusional, hallucinating retard, locked in rooms, treated like a nutcase when this has absolutely nothing to do with anything psychological in any way, shape, or form. This is 100% a fucking police crime against me. Terrorist, human trafficking, sex slavery, trafficking, framing, lying pieces of shit garbage who are ending bloodlines, murdering 77-year-old women, killing and torturing and killing dogs. 2 of mine so far. And all I did was speak of their crimes. I have no criminal record or history. There was attempts at it by having me falsely charged to give me that criminal record in an attempt to try to, for everybody else involved to get away with what they've gotten away against me for 6 years. Anyway, I am going to get off here. I see that everybody is gone. If anyone comes back on here, I am Christopher Wood. I am a 6-year revenge retaliation victim of Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, and there is another police involved and his brother, which I got threats from tonight while I was doing a live, all 100% provable. If anything happens to me, it will be revenge retaliation more against me. Be safe, everybody. Love all, hate none.